Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. This presentation is prepared to fulfill the requirements of the Good Corporate Governance course under the guidance of Mrs. Igusti Ketut Agung Ulupuri. Today we will present our analysis of the PT Timah case, focusing on the issues of the governance failure, ethical violations, and professional accountability. We are from Group 1, consisting of Amina Farhana, Jovan Ferdinand, M. Nabil Muzaffar, and Adrian Quatra Satria. Presentation, we will explore four main questions. First, how was corporate governance applied at PT Timah and where did it fail? Second, what ethical and professional violations occurred during the case? Third, what were the impact on the company and public trust? And finally, what improvement can be made to prevent similar failures in the future?
Okay, let's discuss about PT Timah Tbk profile. PT Timah Tbk is a company engaged in the mining sector, especially in the production and export of tin metal through an integrated process there that includes about exploration, mining, processing, and others. And PT Timah ini is the member of the PT Mining Industry Indonesia and has been established since August 1976. Petatima has been listed in Indonesia Stock Exchange since 1995, in addition to focus on the tin mining industry. The company also owns several subsidiaries operating in various sectors, such as workshop and shipyard service, engineering service, mining consultancy and research. And this company is located on Pangkal Pinang, Bangka Belitung, and have some operational areas spread across in Bangka Belitung, Riau, Kalimantan, Southeast Sulawesi, and Cilegon, Banten. Now let's discuss about what happened in PT Timah Tbk. This company have a corruption case which become a big scandal in Indonesia. This case stemmed from systematic mismanagement in the governance of tin mining permits between 2015 and 2022, which Harvey Moise, who act as relation between private business interests and PT Timah executive, actively communicated with PT Timah President Director, Mokhtar Risa Palevi Tabrani, to make a strategies that conceal illegal tin mining operation behind legal formalities.
Alright, the next section is literature review. The first one, agency theory. Agency theory explains the relationship where a principal delegates tasks to an agent, granting decision-making authority. In organization, shareholders are the principal and managers are the agents, responsible for acting in the shareholder best interest. Next one, business ethics. Business ethics refers to the principle or approaches applied in conducting business activities involving companies, individuals, and society as a whole. In essence, it is about conducting business in a way that does not violate organizational or societal rules. The next one, good corporate governance. According to the Forum for Corporate Governance in Indonesia, good corporate governance is a framework that ensures oversight and accountability by regulating stakeholder relationship. Its goal is to prevent resource misuse and support sustainable growth. Good corporate governance is based on five key principles. The first one, transparency, open disclosure of information and decision. Second, accountability. Clear roles and responsibilities for effective management. Third, responsibility. Compliance with laws and ethical standards. Fourth, independency. Free from conflict of interest and external influence. Fifth, fairness. Equal treatment of all stakeholders. The next one, Accountants Code of Ethics. The Code of Ethics Accountants serve as outlining how accountants should behave and distinguish between right and wrong in profession. Based on the following principles, the First one, integrity. Being honest and straightforward. Second, objectivity. Avoiding bias and conflict of interest. Third, competence and due care. Providing skilled, responsible service in line with current standards and laws. Fourth, confidentiality. Protecting professional and business information. Fifth, professional behavior. Complying with laws and upholding the profession reputation. The last one, legal or regulatory foundation. In Indonesia, legal entities like PT, CV, firms, cooperative civil partnership, and foundation are recognized under Law Number 40 of 2007, which mandates at least two shareholders for a PT. However, some PT are formed by a single owner, violating this rule and highlighting weak enforcement of good corporate governance, especially in transparency, accountability, and legal compliance.
Okay, next is violation of principle of good corporate governance, PT Timah. The first one is transparency. PT Timah failed to disclose material information regarding illegal mining operations. These activities were concealed through fictitious CSR programs and disguised contracts, violating the company's duty to provide honest and open communication to stakeholders. Second is accountability. The board of directors did not perform their supervisory duty properly. Instead of protecting the company's interests, they enabled corrupt practices involving private parties, leading to major financial losses for the state. Third is responsibility. PT Timah neglect its environmental and social responsibility. Illegal mining activities cause significant ecological damage, with total losses estimated at 171 trillion rupiah, violating laws and harming sustainable development. Fourth is independence. Corporate decisions were influenced by external actors like Harvey Moise, showing that the board lacked objectivity. Personal interests were prioritized over professional responsibilities, undermining governance integrity. Last is fairness. The corruption benefited only a few individuals, while losses were borne by the state, local communities, and the environment. This clear injustice shows PT Timah failures to ensure fair treatment for all stakeholders. Next is impact analysis. The Timah corruption scandal illustrates a severe breakdown in the agency relationship between the state principal and company management agent. Instead of acting in the public interest, the board of directors colluded with external actors, exploiting asymmetric information to hide illegal mining operations, fake smelter leases, and CSR fund misuse. This violated principles of transparency, accountability, and corporate ethics. Due to weak internal controls and oversight, this action persisted unchecked, resulting in massive agency cost. The court estimates total losses at around 300 trillion, with 271 trillion from environmental damage. The case highlights the urgent need for stronger governance, integrity, and enforcement in state-owned enterprises. Recommendation for improvement and strategic solution. To prevent cases like PT Timah, companies must strengthen good corporate governance by enforcing ethical values, transparency, and accountability. Independent audits, public oversight, and responsible CSR are crucial. The legal framework must be enforced with strong sanctions and secure whistleblowing systems. Regulators like KPK and OJK should be involved in monitoring. Accountants violating ethics must face legal action. Lastly, ecological restoration must be prioritized using recovered assets, involving local communities to ensure long-term sustainability.
Timah corruption case illustrates a serious breakdown in good corporate governance and ethical conduct. Violations of key GCG principles such as transparency, accountability, and responsibility combined with unethical practice like illegal mining and CSR fund misuse caused massive losses to the state and environmental destructions. Furthermore, the failure of accountants and internal auditors to uphold professional integrity enabled long-term fraud. This case highlights the urgent need for systemic reforms in SOE governance. GCG must be more than a formal obligation, it must be embedded as a core organizational culture, supported by stronger oversights, empowered professionals, and firm legal enforcement.